This sounds very threatening. Do you also think that this is threatening to Germany and to Europe?
Of course, as you can see, the terrorist attacks in London and also other places, there was people from Horn of Afrika. Mm-hmm. So it is facing, and we are aware that not only nowadays Al-Shabaab, but also ISIS.
Heute bin ich hier im Europäischen Parlament in Brüssel gemeinsam mit Kaysar Abdullah Mohamed. Kaysar war ehemaliger Vizeminister für die Regierung von Somaliland und ist aktuell ein Senior Advisor für die Regierung vor Ort. Ich spreche heute mit Kaysar über die Sicherheitslage am Horn von Afrika, aber auch die Auswirkungen auf die umliegende Region um Länder wie Somalia, Kenia, Tansania. Von dort kommen ungute Meldungen, was die Sicherheitslage betrifft. Zunehmend stellen wir fest, dass terroristische Aktivitäten islamistischer Gruppen immer weiter um sich greifen und dies auch Auswirkungen auf Deutschland und Europa hat. Deswegen werde ich jetzt Kaysar einige Fragen stellen und ich bin gespannt auf seine Antworten. Kaysar, what is the actual threat?
The main threat in Horn of Africa is terrorism, and we have been facing that terrorism for many years. And for example, the biggest one we can remember is September 2013, that Westgate attack in Kenya, where hundreds of people has been killed by the Al-Shabaab, and Somaliland, Somalia, and also Kenya are facing that threat for 20 years. And they are trying their best to control it, but they need international help. And it's really destabilizing whole on Horn of Africa.
Do you think that Kenya is also at risk currently?
Kenya is very risky. They already experienced many terrorist attacks, and currently there is a long wall or long border between Kenya and Somalia, where also they have in Kenya almost 300,000 refugees inside Kenya.
300,000.
300,000, and it's very difficult for them to control and to know who is there. So they are very risky, and they are very risky with every day and every hour and every year. And Kenya and Somalia needs both of them to work very closely and to tackle this terror issue.
So what you are actually indicating is that there is a constant infiltration coming from Somalia into Kenya from various terrorist groups.
Exactly. That's what we that's what's happening now. But only not that, but the Kenyan citizens has been radicalized, and Kenyan citizens now joined Al-Shabaab camps in South Somalia. There is a Kenyan citizens who are also attacking Kenya forces in Somalia and also inside Kenya. So it's really out of order now when you see. When you look back about 10 years ago, so Kenya is very risky, Somalia is very risky, and Horn of Africa, region is really facing that threat.
This sounds very threatening. Do you also think that this is threatening to Germany and to Europe?
Of course, as you can see, the terrorist attacks in London and also other places, there was people from Horn of Afrika. Mm-hmm. So it is facing, and we are aware that not only nowadays Al-Shabaab, but also ISIS. So this threat is not confined on Horn of Africa. It is an international problem, and it will really needs that whole international community to work together.
Are you convinced that certain groups, Islamistic groups, try to infiltrate Europe and Germany in specific through by sending people to these countries as asylum seekers?
To be honest, we cannot blame, the asylum seekers. They will be because we are not, we don't know, but it could be. So it needs to be, a proper vetting, and also helping stabilizing Somalia and Somaliland and all that Horn of Afrika. When you see the area where there's no strong government, there will be a lot of threat, But if the international community helps Somalia to stabilize itself, then it can control its citizens, its borders, so it will not be a threat to others. But now, when you see that there's no proper government in Somalia, very weak government, and they don't receive much support from the international community,
right?
Then they will breed the terror. So some of the asylum seekers could be, like what happened in thousands of people who come in every day in Germany or Europe.
Right.
You don't know.
Could you summarize the what we just discussed and give some more information about Somalia as a whole, about its people, about its culture, and about its current political situation?
Yes, Somalia, it is 1960, 26th of June 1960, Somaliland was under British colony, and Somaliland got its independence from the British colony. And then 1st of July, Somalia was under colony of Italy. They joined it, and they united, and they created Republic of Somalia. Then 1991, Somaliland people decided to separate and to reclaim the independence because of the experience of 30 years of unity with Somalia. The Somalia, at that time, they were a dictator government, and he killed over 50,000 Somalilanders. And then for that experience, Somalilanders, they decided to separate from Somalia. They formed their own government, democratic, stable government, stable country, where there's no Al-Shabaab, there's no pirates, while Somalia is still struggling to stand its feet. And that's where the threat comes. That threat is not only from, it's not threatening Europe or anything, but the Somaliland is the first country they are threatening. So what we really need is international community to realize and take its responsibility, and also accept the reality that the Somaliland and Somalia are now two different states. So it needed to be really to work, with the Somaliland people who build the country. They take responsibility. They have stability, democracy. They have elections, every 5 years. The current president is the 5th president who came through the ballot box, and it's rarely, you can see that kind of government in Horn of Afrika. So it really those who advocate for democracy need to help Somaliland to continue and to be an example for others and Somalia.
So it is a deplorable situation in Somaliland, in Somalia as a whole.
Yeah.
The people are threatened by terrorism. There is no perspective for young people to find work.
Exactly.
And it's up to Europe and the European Union and the countries in Europe and the international community to support the people in this region and this country in order to give them a perspective and have a good life in this region.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
I say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kaysar, I say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vielen Dank, dass du da warst, und alles Gute. Thank you very much.
Thank you.